Morning everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchywitch42. I'm starting this video, well actually what you're seeing is the end of this video. I'm in the kitchen. Mark is home today. He's not feeling good. He's sitting upstairs, or he's laying upstairs. He says what he's feeling is flu-like symptoms. I have a COVID test and Mark called my daughter Erin. She said to wait till this afternoon to do the COVID test so that we don't get a false negative. So he went upstairs to lay down. I decided to take the time to record a video for today. And because I didn't have a lot to share, I decided to do a stitch with me. So I was in the living room, sitting in my chair, working on my Alphonse Mucha, and I thought I would come in here and try to pull up the LolaCrow patterns that I talked to you about. Because I am doing this video all sorts of backwards. Okay, LolaCrowCrossStitch. So give me a second to find them. Where's my search? Weird things. In mason jars. Not technically savvy here. What can I say? Alright, let's just do it this way. Here we are. Weird things in mason jars. This is one of the patterns that I got. Absolutely love it, and as you can see, it looks like they're all finished in the tops, in the rings from mason jars. So they're not going to be very big, and there's 3 patterns there. The other one that I got was Skelegnome. Oh, obviously I cannot spell things correctly. Skelegnome. Yes. I decided that I needed to have these to put on my Halloween tree. So, anyway, like I said, this is actually the end of my video, trying to figure out how to do that after I've already recorded the video. And it took me 3 tries because I had to change batteries and I had to figure out where to have my camera so that you could see what I'm doing. I have no clue until I put this together what this video is going to be like. Today is the 27th of February, 2023. Welcome to my hot mess video. Did I introduce myself? I don't know. If you know me, you know me, and if you don't, welcome. It's a wee bit nuts here. Anyway, go watch the rest of the video. I will try to make sure that I put in all the links that I mention in the video. I have to get my notebook and write them down because I'll forget. It's that kind of day. See you in a bit. Bye. So this is my setup when I am sitting in my chair and I'm working on my Alphonse Mucha. This is my frame that I use. The top portion of it right here is from my Edmunds floor stand, which I purchased a bazillion years ago. I got it at Craft Warehouse. I know you can get them at Michael's. I know you can find them on Amazon. Just type in Edmunds, EDMUNDS, floor stand, and you can find it. I used it in the floor stand configuration for years and years and years because I had a non-reclining chair that I would sit in and work. So it was really nice. I could bring it close to me and I could sit and work on it, and it was just perfect for me. When I got this recliner, that floor stand didn't work so well. So I asked Mark if he could reconfigure it. I still have the stand for it upstairs. Like I said, this part is the only part that is original to the Edmunds floor stand. Mark put in the spacers. He added these legs here, and then he added these feet which actually fit on the arms of my chair and keep it from sliding from side to side, but I can move it backwards and forwards as I need to. The other thing is, with him adding the spacers here, is that I can turn it 360 degrees. And that works really nice for me, especially when I want to tuck my tails into the back. So, when I'm using this, I wrap it so that I'm stitching in the well. That way I don't have my arm or my hand resting on the front of my fabric, and I'm stitching on a 14 count Aida. But it also protects it by folding it up and under so that only the back is exposed. I have found over the years that the sides get really loose, but when I found these magnetic silicone ties, they work really nice for wrapping around the arms here and pulling the fabric a little bit tighter. So again, you can find those on Amazon. I think Anna likes to refer to them as thingamajigs. They are magnetic silicone ties. So I am working on this page right here, which there's like a little over 1.5 columns here that I have to fill in. And I'm working off my paper pattern. This is my Alphonse Mucha. Let's see if I can get her there for you to see. She is gorgeous. She is absolutely gorgeous. This is Morning Awakening. And what I am working on is this area right here, this light colored area and this part of the border. Yes, I'm going to let you see the pattern, because quite honestly, if you can figure out from this how to stitch all of this, I want to see it. Please tag me in it wherever you post it. Okay. I am working between 2 pages. And where's my color that I want to use? I want that one. So, right after I started making videos 5+ years ago, I was doing some coffee break videos, and I did one on how I stitch full coverage. I use negative space, and what I mean by that is that since I'm using a paper copy, I do about 6 stitches, and then I color them off so that the uncolored spaces on my pattern match the unstitched spaces on my fabric. And that way I can find where I'm at, where I'm supposed to start, without doing a lot of counting. Does that mean I don't count? Okay, there's the end of my tail on the back. Yes, even though I try my best not to count when I'm doing my muka, there is and always will be counting. But working with negative space, like I said, I stitch a few spaces and then I color them off so my unstitched space is always the same as the uncolored space on my pattern, and therefore I can use negative space to figure out where my next stitches are. Like I said, right now I am working between 2 pages, because who doesn't do that, you know? We have to have a wee bit of crazy in our stitching, right? So I am trying to make sure that I get them done on one page, and then I go back and look at the other page and figure out where they're at on it, so that I can work back and forth between the 2 pages. That helps, I think anyway, from making sure that there's really any definition between where one page finished and where another one started. The first Alphonse Muka that I worked on was one that I did for my daughter. Evening Star. No. Morning Star. Evening Star is one I want to find in a pattern and have not been able to. But when that was the first Alphonse Muka that I had ever stitched, and I actually did it one page at a time. And I don't know if it was because my tension was too tight when I stitched that piece, but when it was done I could actually tell on my finished piece where the page edges were. And I really didn't like that, so I wanted to figure out a way to not do that. Alright, I have to come over here and figure out where I'm at. So I've got, which row is it? There's a big gap there, so I'm right there. And there's a negative space there. And it's that one right there that I want to stitch next. Anyway, learning from the first one that I did, the one that I did for my daughter Erin, I now try to blur my edges as much as possible. Does anybody else do that? I know that I've seen people when they're doing like full coverage heids that they do like diamond shape. They blend using diamond shape stitches. I don't know. I guess that would work, but I would be afraid that I would also see that too. I know that I no longer pull my threads as tight as I used to, so I don't think that that would be an issue anymore. But this is how I have stitched all my full coverage for, I couldn't tell you how many years. I know when I stitched Stonehenge, I did big blocks of color. The sky is a very stormy looking sky, and those big blocks of colors were really difficult for me to do, because I found myself getting really bored with it. Okay, I don't have any more on that one. My next one is down here. So we're going to come up here and we're going to go, there's 3 and there's 2 empty there. It's that one right there. But yeah, working on my Stonehenge and doing all the fill-in of the sky, If I look really close, I can tell where I was stitching at. Big blocks of color, I get bored. That's all I can say is I get bored. So I much prefer working on full coverage this way, because even if you have an area like this here that looks like it's one color, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 colors on one row. And some of them are the same on the rows above them, some of them are not. This piece is confetti heavy. So let's take a look at the back here. I don't mind showing off my back pieces. I rather like looking at the back of my Alphonse Mucha because this shows the journey to me. If you look in this area right here, this is her thighs. Her thighs right here. And there was a lot of the same colors. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 colors in this area here. So you don't see a lot of color change there. And on the back, the stitches are, I generally move back and forth, left and right, left to right. When I'm stitching, I also go up and down. It all depends on where I'm at. But the stitches look very neat and very almost thin on the back. On the other hand, you can tell like this area here, there was a lot of confetti, a lot of color changes right there. When I was working this area here, you can see that I was traveling that area there. When I was working on this side of her thigh, you can see that I was working on that side of her thigh because of the way the stitches lay on the back. This area here is full of confetti. This is all confetti. This is all confetti. I travel on the back of I carry my threads on the back, and for the most part, it doesn't matter. I just carried from here to there to get that. This is going to be stitched over. That was a place where I carried. It was stitched over. Does any of it matter? No. Because with very few exceptions, we cover the back of our stitch pieces. But I think it's important to every once in a while take a look and see what we've done on the back of them, to see the journey that we've been on creating this piece. My friend Sandi, and I will link her Instagram down below, she posted a story about a quilt that was found in a garbage can in California that had actually been stitched up in Canada. And when the woman found it, she was on a walk and she saw it hanging out of a garbage and she had to go check it out. Anyway, it turns out that this pattern was stitched by a church in the 1930s, I think, in Canada. She washed it. She was then looking to see if there was anything inside of it, and she found that they had stitched the names of parishioners in there. And based on that, she was able to get that quilt that she found in a dumpster in California to the church up in Canada where it had been originally stitched by parishioners. I thought that was absolutely amazing, and that's a perfect reason why worrying about the back of our stitched pieces shouldn't be important. It's why I now make sure that when I finish a piece, I don't always stitch my initials on it, but my big pieces, I am making sure to write down information on the back of it, whether it's on the back of the paper, whether it's on a card that's attached to it. You know, what we stitch today is going to be someone's finds in the future. So, this is what I have been stitching on for the past couple of weeks. What else have I been doing? Well, last week, both my granddaughters had their birthdays. My youngest granddaughter turned 15, and her sister Rowan turned 16. And Rowan has gotten into drama in the high school. And they put on the play, the musical play of Shrek. Oh my gosh. We went to it Saturday night. It was 3 hours long. We got into our seats. My daughter and her current boyfriend were there. And the funny thing is that one of the ladies that my husband went to school with, she and her granddaughter had the seats right next to my daughter and her boyfriend, and we asked them if they wanted to switch with us, so we got to sit. The four of us got to sit together. This play was a blast. Other than the main characters, Shrek, Donkey, even Fiona was played by multiple people. But all the other characters, all the other cast members played multiple roles. If you remember on my last video, I showed the archer's cap that I had to make for Rowan because her character was Peter Pan in the play. She also played a dancing rat and had to learn how to tap dance to be a dancing rat. She also was part of the Duloc ensemble, meaning she was a villager from the city of Duloc, where Lord Farquaad ruled. Okay, what color do I have? Talking to you and I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I'm doing ampersands. Oh good, there's a whole row of them. And none on the next page. So, there was dancing that they had to learn. There were all the musical numbers that they sang and danced to. This play was such a blast to watch. And on the flyers, you know, it lists the cast of characters. It lists everybody who's in the music and who was playing. It listed who did what as far as the backgrounds went, the scenery. It was just very well done. They did multiple costume changes. When Rowan was playing Peter Pan, she had on brown tights, a green jacket, a white shirt, and her archer's cap. When she was a mouse, she was wearing black tights, black shirt, and tap shoes. When she was part of the Duloc ensemble, she was wearing another costume. And it was just fantastic. They even had a paper mache dragon for the dragon in the play, and it was so much fun to watch. So much fun to see the creativity that these young adults came up with. It was excellent. if you get a chance to go see a high school play, you know, if it's your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors' kids, if you just like watching plays, it helps to support the school. I felt so bad. We got there and I didn't realize that we had to have cash to pay for the tickets. And the lady at the desk was really nice. She goes, send us a check, just make sure that you write that it's for the drama club on it. So yesterday I knew that they were doing matinee. I had to go purchase a couple of things for making dinner and got some extra money and drove back over to the school and walked in there and handed the lady $20, and she goes, what's that for? And I said, it's for the tickets we didn't pay for last night. But now I know. The next time I go to a high school play, I will make sure that I have cash. They also had headbands with Shrek ears. My daughter had one of those on. They were really, really cute. But anyway, we had a blast watching her there. And then afterwards, in the hallway, all the characters were out there to meet and greet people as they were leaving the play. My daughter had her boyfriend take a picture of her with the granddaughter and Shrek and Donkey. It was a blast. It was just so much fun. Other than that, I haven't really been doing anything. It has been cold here. It is currently in the 30s, which is nice. Last week we had a couple of days where the temperature was down to 21 degrees Fahrenheit, which is -6 Celsius. It was cold. We did get a little bit of snow, and I do mean a little bit of snow. We had a dusting on the ground, and then it was gone. On the other hand, Portland, which is about 50 miles north of us, and where my son lives, they had 11 inches of snow. So, yeah. We got a dusting, they got 11 inches. I like living in the valley. We're kind of in a bowl-shaped area here. I know when I was at work Wednesday, when it snowed, that people coming in from areas surrounding Silverton had lots of snow in their car. But again, we got a dusting. And it was nice, other than that, one day really, Wednesday and a little bit of Thursday. Thursday was my day off. We didn't have too much snow. So I thought that I enjoyed that, because I think I've made it clear on previous videos. I'm not a snow person. I think snow is pretty. I don't like the underlying ice. Unfortunately, this last week, there was no ice around here, which was good for me. And I admit, when it comes to that, I'm totally selfish. So, I haven't been doing much. I'm working on getting another page finished here. I think I had posted on my Instagram a picture when I finished this page up here saying that I was halfway, and then realized that I actually was further than that, because this is page 16 up here. This is page 20 that I'm working on. I thought it was 16 of 32 pages. There's only 28 pages. So bonus! I have more done than I thought I had. But when I was working on this part over here after I posted that picture, I realized that there was right up here one spot that I had not stitched. That has been rectified. So when I finish stitching this row here to here, and these little couple of stitches that are left there, I will have page 20 done, and then I will move on to page 19. So I think this is where I am going to leave you all. I will try to put some links down below if you're interested in the silicone magnetic silicone ties. If I can find the article again that my friend Sandi posted on Facebook, I will post a link to that, because it was really fascinating to read and to learn how she discovered where that quilt came from, where it belonged. And I will post links to the LolaCrow patterns that I'm going to be purchasing. Did I talk about the LolaCrow patterns? I've done this video a couple of times already this morning, and I don't remember if I did. If not, real quick refresher. I had stitched the 5 LolaCrow pieces that I asked Helen D to finish for me, and one of my viewers, her name is Dovey, she told me that there were some other LolaCrow patterns that I might be interested in. So I went back over there to look at them, and they are called Weird Things in Mason Jars. There's 3 of them. They look like little mason jars. One of them has tentacles in it, and one of them has some frogs in it, and the third one has eyeballs in it. While I was there, I also discovered another LolaCrow pattern called Skelegnome, and I had to get that too. So those will be the next things that I get stitching on. I just have to go pull out some fabric and the flosses and get started on those. And I think the 3 mason jar ones are finished in mason jar lids. So that'll be kind of fun. The other thing that I want to get started on, again being enabled by Helen, I bought Strawberry Fair and haven't done anything with it. Obviously, I don't do good with stitch-alongs. But I have an idea for what I would like to do as far as finishing that one goes. I just have to sit down and figure out how big it is and whether it will work or not. I will share that on another video. So anyway, I am done with this last color here. I just have a few more stitches right along here, and I will be done with page 20, and then I can start moving back across the front of my Alphonse Mucha there. So until next time, live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.